Hello and welcome to the News from the Real World podcast. We're coming to you pre-recorded from the sound studio, and I'm Kat.
Atitra.
Jordan.
Eleanor.
Okay guys, let's get things started. We're going to start by talking about an article about laptops, which are very controversial. This article is called "Should Students Use a Laptop in Class?" It's by Evan Selinger from the Wall Street Journal, and it was a student pick this week. The basic gist of this article is saying that professors have been trying to crack down on laptop use in class so that students pay more attention and don't distract other people, and that most professors have a very strict policy on whether or not they allow computers in class, things which include smartphones and tablets and all that other technology. What do you guys think? I have an opinion, but let's hear what you guys think about should professors dictate whether or not laptops should be used?
Well, I don't know. I was from a place where using laptops or any kind of like technologies in class are like, no, you cannot use it. You cannot use it. We're allowed to use like only like paper, and like writing everything. We're not allowed to use any technology. So for me, I think it's kind of cool, but then it's maybe some reasons because for adults, I mean for college students, you're mature enough, and like you have some responsibilities on your own. Like, do not play, use Facebook, or like play games during class. So, but for like high school students, maybe.
I'm not sure I agree with you that college students have any sense of responsibility that's much greater than high school students. I think they're
in
just
theory.
as inclined. Yeah, in theory.
I mean, in theory, it's supposed to be like that.
But I think they're just as inclined as high school students to use a laptop, quote, inappropriately during a class period.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. My opinion is that I don't care either way. I think if you want to use a laptop, you should be allowed to. If you want to totally screw around during class, that's your business as long as you're not bothering other people. I'm taking a computer science class right now where it is forbidden that you use a laptop during class, or even during recitation where we kind of work a lot on code-based stuff. And the whole reason is so that you're really focused and you pay attention. My professor says, you students, like the second you are touching something electronic, your brains just ooze out of your head and you are not paying attention at all. And I think that's probably pretty true, to be honest. You're very distracted. We've gotten to a point with our technology use where we are incredibly distracted if we have something in front of us, because we know how to get to everything we want to do on that thing that is not necessarily note-taking.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think you're very likely to be distracted by it, but if you want to do that,
right. That's how I feel.
Have fun.
Your prerogative. If you don't want to pay attention, go on Facebook.
It's certainly unnerving for a professor to see like students
Everyone's
doing
staring
that.
at a screen.
But that also, to me, as a student who wants to be engaged in class, that's a signal to the professor that they need to change their teaching style.
Right.
So I kind of think it's a two-way street there.
Tough on the professor.
I know, right?
Oops.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
They may be too boring.
It's their job to engage us and teach us. And my professor, I'll give a shout out to Professor David Cosby in the computer science class. He is awesome in lectures. So I would actually not want to take notes on a computer. I really enjoy just sitting there listening to him philosophize about life and then showing us some code. It's cool.
That's true. I actually like it. Yeah, because like when I was in the class where like professor like boring. Well, actually, yeah, I can't help myself a little bit like Facebook.
Yeah, great. So let's move on to talking about lasers. Similar.
So.
Dr. Evil.
So this is a student pick also, using a laser as the world's most powerful paintbrush. So the story is last April, there's a director, Ben Tugaban. So he's testing out a new technology. It's a long exposure photography project called Light Echoes, together with data virtualization artist Aaron Coughlin. They paint just shoot the laser on the as a painting. They painted on the California Canyon with lasers. I mean paint, not printed
Right.
paint it.
Yeah.
Like a paintbrush. So it all started. Coblin had purchased a laser from eBay, and just like, oh, I got the laser. And then what did he have to do? He just worked up on some coding and put some on programs. It's a bit of like smart coding, a bit of like engineering to create a new style of doing the artwork. And then also there's Mr. Atkins. Dong Atkins. He has this like a show Station to Station, which used the same idea from Coblin and Tinkerbell, but then he tied this laser to the train. So as the train moves, the laser works. So like the painting all the way as the train moves is very beautiful. I saw it. It's like it's really really beautiful. And so also Coblin also did House of Cards music video. Well, this is what the idea came from. So before we had this Light of Echo and Station to Station, Coblin did this House of Cards music video with James Frost. The interesting part is that the image of the singer. Look, when you have a music video, you have a singer, but then he didn't theme the singer.
Right.
He like used this thing called LiDAR, like laser light radar, to like scan like the figure of the singer and then put it in like wow, that's hard. So he put and he scanned it and then make this like figure of him on the music video, which is so cool.
Yeah, it looks like a three-dimensional
yeah,
image
it's like
without...
three-dimensional. And so it's some kind of like Microsoft Kinect also has something like this. I mean, I saw it on, they used this Kinect for Paranormal Activity 4, which I cannot remember which part of that exactly, but then, yeah, and then after that, he kind of like developed this idea, and then he has this. You can like see it, I mean, picture is really, really beautiful.
Yeah, I highly recommend anybody who's listening to this and has not seen it yet, look up Light Echoes, because it's really beautiful to see it painted on the landscape, and kind of neat ideas that they're projecting on their text and just kind of like light trails and interesting stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also look at what else the artist is doing, because I just watched the video right before we started recording by the same artist, and it was awesome.
Yeah, the Johnny Cash project.
Yeah, Johnny Cash project.
So it sounds like this artist is doing a lot of really cool stuff with technology that hasn't been done before.
And doing stuff like turning like data into art as well,
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that seems really interesting and new to me, like a new kind of way to make art.
Yeah, and like it recalls me back to the first, like one of the articles from the first week, like coding as a requirement for
Life. For life.
for life.
Yeah.
I mean, well, personally, I was bad at computers, but I think it's like some kind of benefits if you can do it, then you can like do some kind of like new innovation, and it's like it's great because like art is like unlimited, like there's no limit.
So much now is based on technology.
Yeah,
If
today.
you know how to do something like that, you can kind of. The horizon is your limit. That's not the saying, but beyond the horizon, whatever the saying is. Speaking of new technology, Jordan, why don't you tell us about Wizard of Oz?
Yes, so via Jamie and Adam from Mythbusters, their tested blog, we have Disney researches finger-to-ear sound transmission by Norman Chan. Is that the one we're going to talk about next? Something like that.
Great.
We got a couple options here. I may have just jumped the shark here, I'm not sure. Anyway, it was the next on my list. So Jamie and Adam, the author is talking about a new technology that is coming out of Disney's research labs. That actually, I think one of our professors here is friends with the guy who's kind of the lead on this technology. I might be incorrect about that. But what it is a way of transmitting sound into a high voltage, low current signal that can travel through, basically exist on the surface of your skin, so that if you touch your, say, finger, to somebody's ear, like very close to their eardrum, it will actually create reverberations, and they will hear a sound as a whisper, sort of the original sound. So the way it works is they have a microphone that has the capability to record an audio noise of some kind, transmit that into the signal, and via there's a very small cable that wraps around the microphone, and because of the fact that the microphone is metal and is conductive, it sends the signal through your body, through your skin, and you can actually use your finger or another body part as a sort of amplifier.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's pretty shocking to think about the possible applications of this. I think it's pretty neat. And the video for it features some ex-CMU students, which is kind of fun.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, I think
They
some
graduated last year.
of this was developed here in some way. So I don't know, what do people think this could possibly be applied to?
I mean, knowing that it was kind of sponsored by Disney, I'm sure they'll find some weird way to incorporate it into some new ride at Disney World or some new movie experience where it whispers directly in your ear or something. Like, so they're going to come up with
Some
like,
creepy person
some-
behind you touching your eardrum.
I don't know.
Listen.
I don't know. I'm sure they'll come up with something. In a like broader sense of like theater, and I'm not sure. I think somebody I'm sure could come up with something really cool. I don't know.
For me, I guess when I saw this article, I was like, I was thinking about like how it might be useful for like medical fields,
Okay.
right? Because like don't think about some people who are deaf,
Mm-hmm.
right? If this thing like fully developed, maybe in the future we can like, oh, you're deaf, use this thing, and it's like it's talking something, just touch your ear, and then you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a commenter who
Who
was
knows?
questioning whether it would work if your the
Eardrum is damaged.
eardrum is damaged or the other mechanisms in your ear. So that would actually be interesting to see.
Yeah.
This may have applications for people that are deaf or hard of hearing. That would be really amazing.
I mean, just even in its raw form, like the video is super fun. Like the students in it are just having a ball, like playing around with it.
They are.
Yeah.
It's like I want to go to like a museum or an art gallery.
Just start playing
Just
with it.
playing
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, totally.
Watching the
Yeah, that'd be
video,
awesome.
it just doesn't seem real. But when you read about it, I think it makes it a lot more.
Yeah.
Connects it a little bit more.
To what you're seeing.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's just people touching each other's ears and then perking
And
up a
then
little
laughing.
bit, and it's so it's surprising. Once I realized that it's actually the microphone that sends it, I think that's a really cool idea because it's so direct. There's no intermediary thing. You can just hold that microphone and that's what'll do the trick for you.
Right.
So pretty neat technology there. All right, so I will move on to my next article, which should have been the last article. I'm not sure. But Movie.com just had an article about something that's happening right now. So if this podcast gets out in time, hopefully you can go see this. But the article is titled, "Here's Proof the Wizard of Oz IMAX 3D Restoration Will Look Pretty Amazing" by Mike Bracken. And this was also a student pick this week. And this is basically about this great thing that Warner Brothers and IMAX are working on together where they are fully restoring The Wizard of Oz, putting it into IMAX and making it 3D as well. It is a huge undertaking, and it does, based on the video, look like it's going to look pretty incredible, and I'm pretty much totally psyched about it. So, I mean, what are people's thoughts about this? I think a lot of people kind of freak out at the idea of turning movies that were never intended for 3D into 3D movies. So,
I
does anyone have an
kind of
opinion?
think it ruins the like experience of seeing Wizard of Oz. I feel like the point, like I remember seeing Wizard of Oz for the first time, and I just didn't even realize that I think I don't know how old I was, maybe 10, but at that point it was still already 60, 70 years old, and I had no way of knowing that, and I was just like, this is a great movie, and then I found out later that it was like one of the first color movies, and I was like, what? I was like mind blown, because it's so, part of the charm of it is that it's kind of that, like, you don't know where it is, and I feel like
Right.
putting it in 3D turns it into, like, Avatar, and like I don't know. I just it ruins it for me a little bit.
I completely get that. I'm not a huge fan of 3D either. I loved Avatar, but that was really like intended to be in 3D.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, I've just seen a lot of 3D films lately, and pretty much every time I just think to myself, I could have watched that in 2D. I would have been just as happy and enjoyed it just as much. So the 3D part, I'm a little like whatever about. IMAX, I pretty much always love that experience. Things sound great and look fantastic, and it really is truly pretty much immersive because it's so huge. So I'm excited about that aspect. I kind of agree with the 3D. I don't know, I'm not sure it ruins the experience. I think for people that have seen it before, it is a new experience.
Right.
For people, you know, I would actually agree with you that I wouldn't necessarily want young kids that are seeing it for the first time to think that that's what it was, you know, what the original film looked like. But I don't know, I'm always for trying new stuff.
Yeah, I really don't like 3D, so.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
Me neither.
We got a bunch of
like,
curmudgeons in here.
like 3D.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
if you like 3D, you should go check it out. If
Yeah,
not,
check it out. It was supposed to run for 1 week only,
Yeah.
I believe, but I think it's being extended a little longer at least. So it seems like, I looked up some movie times, it seems like this week there will still be a couple showings.
Buy some tickets. Cool. So that's it for our first installment. We will see you for segment 2.
Bye.
Oh.
Real
Real world.
Real world. Real world.
I tend to slur. I say like the real world, the real world.
You can't say it without slurring. You can be like NFTRW.